Oftentimes I'm asked, well, Tyler, why do you think you're better than everybody else? Why do you walk around and look down on somebody else's opinion? Why do you do that? Well, because if you don't do that, you're a fucking idiot. Why would you not have a filter? Why would you let everything in? If you do that, it's going to obscure your focus. It's going to bring in visual and words and rhetoric into your mind that might persuade you to get off course. So of course, I have a filter on all the information that comes into my head or into my environment if I can control it. If you don't control your environment, it can control you, and it will control you. A lot like a garden, if you do not tend to the garden, the weeds will take over. That's a law. So if you don't control what's coming into your life, then you're susceptible to anything out there controlling you. So you have to have some type of filter, and the filter should be in congruence to where you're trying to go. One thing that really irritates me is the fact that there is a market in today's economy that exposes and limits a certain class of people that try to bribe or spend lots of money and show how valuable they are to women for sex. It's a terrible market. But it is a market and there is money to be made, so I don't think that people that are in that market are stupid. I just don't like that the market is there. Similar to like if there's a market for, like in the older days, gladiators, people pay, well, this guy's going to die and this guy's going to live and we'll wage money on it. That's terrible, right? But it's a market, so you have to live with it. But I just look at the world in a sense where, why are we spending an inflated amount of money on trying to get like laid, trying to impress girls, trying to expose how great we are compared to other men, and they should pick us, which I'm not saying isn't how it's supposed to be, because it kind of is. But the focus is on the wrong things, in my opinion. Yes, a girl should want to attract a guy who is grounded, he is focused, he knows exactly where he's going, and the girl is only coming into his life because he's chosen that, and she's chosen that, and they have something similar to work towards. Because the only thing in life that really brings happiness is progress in your life. Material things and tangible items are never going to bring you to a utopian type of mindset that everybody yearns for. The only thing that's going to do that is getting from point A to point B and being able to measure that there is some sort of progress. Knowing this, you should go into every type of relationship with that attitude. If a woman isn't bringing you some sort of progress, then isn't she bringing you to a neutral, stagnant state, or even a declining state from where you're already at? So of course a woman wants to bring a little value to a man's life, but at the attraction level, the woman wants to be with a man that is like slightly in more congruence with where he's going in life and his frame. He's not willing to waver out of where he's going based on how good she looks, how much money she has, because that doesn't really matter in 10 years for the guy, or at least it shouldn't. For the guy, it should be he's going on this path, and there's no other paths. You can come into my path if I let you, but that's it. And we can talk about how you're going to get in. So, guys need to be a lot more focused and not so easily distracted towards media, marketing, sexual attention, all these things that kind of distract men from where they're going in life. Because I'll tell you this, men's sexual market value goes up as they get older, but women's goes down. And I think that's because women look absolutely gorgeous when they're about 18 to 26. After that, it starts to decline, and then men start to see, well, women are hot, but what else are they bringing? If a woman is 19, through 26, and all she does is party and uses her sexual market value, which is her looks, her pussy, boobs, ass, as some type of collateral to think that she can draw in money and use it as asset, that's a terrible way to go. And girls start to see this at about the age of 26, 28. They start to hit that wall where they're trying to compete with the girls that are at 19, 18, getting all the attention from the guys. But guys are more linear. They don't have to worry about their sexual market value going down at 26, because obviously everybody knows that doesn't happen. And proof of this is people that are very rich, that are men, and are able to attract 18-year-olds. It's because the market value of you, or the value that you bring to the world, is a little higher. And I think most of that is due to the fact that when a man is 18 to 26, he wasn't worried about attracting a female. He was more worried about staying on that path that I was talking about and not letting third parties come in and obscure his image of where he wants to go. Because if a man has an image in his head and he wants to go there, there's nothing really stopping him except outside sources. One quote that I like, I think it went something along the lines of, a reporter or a random guy asked some guy that became very successful. He goes up to him, and asks him, hey, how did you get to where you are? Because everybody's envious of you and you are where everybody wants to be. The guy just simply says, I showed up and I was focused when everybody else wasn't doing that. I did the opposite of what everybody was doing. And it's so simple to do. That's exactly all you have to do to become something valuable. But nobody does it. So that's why it's so easy. And when I walk around like nobody else matters, like I have all this confidence, but I'm not Warren Buffett, well, that's just because that's kind of how it should be. You should be so focused to where if you're talking to somebody and you give them your time, which is the most valuable thing and commodity that there is, they should respect you, give them your time, and you should present your best to them on that first interaction. You only have one time to make a first impression. So the first impression should be high energy, a good introduction, and allow that person to kind of get a little insight on you, and then let them make the decision on whether they want to introduce you into their focus in life or not. A lot of times people are just so transparent to strangers that they become obstructed in their viewpoints because of they have allowed other morals and beliefs into their path, which sometimes isn't a good thing. That's why you have to have a good filter. All right, I'm done.